Well, hello guys and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we will create the second spinner and yeah, we will create the second spinner. I stopped the animation of the first one because it was driving me crazy to have something still kind of rotating around the screen. So I just stopped that. Hopefully you can understand it. And also my computer is a bit slow, so it was also like slowing down the computer. So I will just define new div and let's call this one spinner2. And inside the div, I will define 4 divs and all of them will have some ID like circle 1, for example. So circle 1, and I'll just copy paste that and it will be like circle 1, circle 2, 3, and 4. So we will have 4 circles and we will style them. So let's do that. First of all, let's style the spinner. So spinner 2, and in here let's change the margin. So margin and left, and let's give it like 300 pixels. That should be enough. And right now let's style the balls. So well, actually let me add a class to it. So class, and in here let's call it circle, like this. So we will style all these circles, but we will then use the ID to control the animation because all of them will have like different animation. Okay, so I'll just add a circle class to all of them. So let's define the class. In here just write dot circle, and in here let's style it. So the width will be 80 pixels, okay? And the height will be the same, so 80 pixels. And the border radius will be 50% so that we have like actual balls. And the background color will be like yellow. And hit save. And there are 4 balls. So great. Now let's display them inline block so that we can see it. Yeah, like this. And right now, what do we want to do? Well, I will just move it a bit more to right. So I will just move the margin from 300 to 400 so you can see better. And right now we can define the animation. So cool. First of all, let's define the keyframes, right? So the idea is that the first ball will just go in here, somewhere in here, and then hit these balls, and then the last one will go back up and then hit these balls, right? So it's like the device that you can see on tables in some movies, or I don't know, maybe you even have it on your desk, but it's like the balls device that like just hit each other, right? Hopefully you understand. But anyway, let's do that. So I will just define the keyframes for the first ball. That means this one. So I will just call it like ball, and in here let's define it. So at 0% we want it to transform first of all, and in here we want to translate, and we want to translate by I and by X, okay? So let's do that. By I we want to translate it, for example, like minus 40 pixels, and by X we want to translate it, yeah, I forgot, I need to get rid of the semicolon in here, and then I can write the translate X, and in here let's say minus 80. Okay, damn it, like this. So let's add this animation so that we can kind of control and see how it looks. So I'll just write ID circle 1 because that's the circle we want to animate, this one, and in here I will write animate, well, animation, and in here ball, and let's give it like 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds. Let's give it like linear, and 0 second delay, and we want it to be infinite, like this. Hit save, and you can see the ball going, right? But we definitely don't want it to look like this, so we will define the next kind of milestone. So from the 20%, well, we can, yeah, let's do 20%, because that will be better for like counting, for math. So from 0% to 20%, we will move it from this point to the like starting position, right? So to translate x and I to 0. So like this, and hit save, so that the moving is a bit faster, right? And then by the end, so from 80 to 100, we wanted to move it back. So we wanted to go like back in here. So I'll just copy and paste this one. So like this, hit save, and let's see. Okay, so when you imagine the ball hitting back, it will look good, I promise you. Okay, so let's define the second ball, the last one, okay? So in here, let's write just keyframes, and let's call it ball 2. Okay, word free, ball 2. And in here what we can do is just simply copy and paste this thing like this, and in here we will just only thing that we want to change, because right now when I save, and also let me just add the animation to the circle 4, so circle 4, and we will have exactly this line, only this time it will be ball 2. So this time the animation looks exactly the same, right? It makes sense because I just copy and paste that. But if I, for example, change this one, the X property, it now works, right? So the bad thing is that it works at the same time, right? So they both go in the same time. We want this one to go up, hit this one, and then this one to go up. So when we want this one to go up, well, exactly in the middle of the animation of the first one, right? So what we can do is simply define in here 1 second delay. So like this. And right now they are like bouncing, right? It looks like the machine that you can see on the table, and that is pretty cool. So right now what I also want to do is add the color animation. Okay, so I will just change in here background color. So background color, and I will change it to green yellow like this, so that when the ball kind of when the ball kind of hits, when the ball is moving, I want it to be green, and I also want these two to turn green before this one goes like up. Okay, so I will just simply copy and paste this one in here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, we need to move it in here like this. Okay, no. So this one, yeah, and we want to get rid of this one. Okay, and we also want to style the middle ones, okay, so that they turn green also. So I'll just define new keyframes. So add keyframes, and let's call this one color. It will be like really simple. So at the 0% of the animation, I want the background color to be green yellow like this. And at from the 20 to 80%, so 20%, 80%, I want it to be yellow. So background color yellow. Okay. And from 80 to 100%, I want it to go back to green yellow. Let's see how that will look. And yeah, we also need to add it to these circles. So in here, I will just copy and paste these. And also we need to define the duration, right? And stuff like that. So first of all, let me change the IDs. So 2 and 3 and the name of the animation. So that will be color. Yeah, I believe I called it color. And we want to change, well, we don't want to change the duration because we want it to be the same duration as both of these, but we need to change the delay. And when we want this ball to turn green, just think of that. So we want from 0 to 20%, this ball is moving, but at the time of 20%, it will just move to this spot. So we need like the delay of 20% from this time, right? And 20% from 2 seconds, it's just 0.4, right? So 0.4 seconds, and in here we want 0.8 because we are also waiting on this second ball. So let's see. Okay, it looks quite good. It looks good. So yeah, this is basically what we can do. Well, the last ball is turning green a bit late, right? Okay, so in order to fix the last ball, what we can do is just add the color animation, okay? So I don't want to get into the like math and calculate in this video when we exactly the percentage of the animation to when we need to turn the ball into green. It should be like, I don't know, something like 10%. I don't want to calculate that, so I'll just get rid of this line, and I can also get rid of this line. So both of these balls will now just be yellow, right? So you can either keep this way, it still looks pretty good, but I will just add the animation in here. So I will just write comma in here, and on the next line I'll write color 2 seconds. So exactly the same animation as these two balls have. So color 2 seconds and linear, and the delay should be like 1.2 and it should be like infinite. Hit save, and the same thing will be in here. So I'll just write comma, and in here I will only, yeah, I need to write in here seconds, but it will be 0 seconds from the beginning, right? Does that make sense? 4 balls. Well, let's see. Well, it looks good. It looks good, but I miscalculated, didn't I? There should be like 0.5. In here should be like 1, and in here should be like 1.5, right? So if I save, okay, so the last one, okay, I'll change it to 1.2. I don't want to get into the math, but yeah, it looks kind of cool in my opinion. You can play with that. Obviously, you can change the times in here, the timings, and yeah, you can play with that. It's not perfect. You can make it perfect. So that's your homework. But yeah, if you have any questions, if something isn't working, feel free to ask, and I will see you next time.